Hold on a sec. Is that really Donald J. Trump? Oh man, this is gonna be wild. I can't believe we got the big man himself here today. What gives Kokichi? Someone must be in a good mood.
Believe it, Kaito. I'm here, and when I'm here, it's always huge. No one's gonna do it like me. Biggest guest you've ever had. Everyone's talking about it. Your friend Kokichi is a bit of a strange guy, but I couldn't turn down a great group of friends. Frankly, you are doing me a favor.
You're right, Mr. Trump. You're definitely the best guest we've ever had.
Of course Kaito would simp for Trump. And what's this? Kokichi brought these two old geezers in? What, are they part of your deep state army? I love Trump, but we already get enough of him every day in the mail, TV, and you know what I mean.
Oh, Miu. Always thinking I'm plotting something. Nah, these guys are just a couple of washed-up politicians trying to rake in the votes. Nothing sinister about that. At least not today. They volunteered to come here for the most part. They aren't no Jeffrey Epstein cool your rockets.
Right, just two old guys fishing for votes. Well, where's Kamala Harris? Huh? Still chained up in your deep state dungeon?
Oh, Kamala? Or what I like to call her, Scamala. You don't need to worry about her, Miu. She's locked up safe and sound in the White House basement with all the MSDNC fans. Tremendous basement, by the way. Tremendous. I installed my own McDonald's down there when I was president. I made McDonald's great again. And I just did the other day as well. Frankly, it's McDonald's for a reason.
Man, I've got to know how you even pulled this off, Kokichi. You got Trump and... Wait, is that Tim Walz? What's that pussy doing here?
That's right, Kaito. I'm here to balance things out. Maybe add a little common sense to all the chaos. And I'm not a pussy. I'm friends with school shooters. Hey, who changed my voice? I sound like a goddamn leprechaun.
L plus ratio plus no one cares unless you show me where you hid your treasure, Mr. Socialist. I'm not forking over my tax money to you when you don't even know how to fire a gun.
Oh, please, Timmy. You know you just wanted to join in the fun. Admit it. You can't resist a good show. At least you have the guts to come out of the basement. It sucks you have no friends. I would have loved for them to join us.
Yeah, I bet. Just waiting for this circus to explode. So, what's the plan? You guys want to try and win some votes by reacting to funny internet videos now?
I'm just a humble entertainer, Miu. Just bringing in two powerhouses like these guys to react with us. It's all totally above board, of course.
Whatever it is, I'm going to react better than anyone else. You'll see. It'll be the best reaction video anyone's ever seen.
This is gonna be awesome. Let's get started.
All right, you bunch of losers. Today's reaction video is going to be a little different. We're watching a video about Tinder and dating disasters.
More weird dating stuff? Come on, Miu. Why is it always scary or awkward? Can't we watch something normal for once? Especially with you-know-who here.
Aw, Kaito, don't be such a baby. You're just scared because you suck at flirting. Besides, Miu picked the video.
That was taken way out of context, Miu. Hey, stop changing my voice.
Ha! Now that's a reaction worth watching.
Why does this always get so awkward? Just start the video.
I'm very anti-dating apps, but I guess I'm biased because of the nightmarish experience I had with Tinder. I've only met up with 3 people ever off Tinder. The first 2 experiences were nothing special. I wasn't excited about either of the girls, and there were no second dates.
3 Tinder dates? That's it? Oh man, what a loser!
Like you could do any better, Miu. You wouldn't get a Tinder date even if you paid someone to go out with you. Imagine matching with the queen of perverts. I'd rather be in bed with Tim Walz than deal with your stupid fetishes and kinks.
Excuse me? I'd have a line around the block for a chance with me, you little gremlin. Tinder would immediately delete your profile because your face is a fucking safety hazard.
Here we go again.
This is going to be a long video.
But compared to the third meetup, oh boy, in comparison the first 2 went phenomenally. I matched this brunette girl named Annette. She had up 4 pictures, 3 of which she was posing alone in what looked like her backyard. The 4th one was in front of a pond. At the time, I didn't see it as a red flag that she was alone in all of her pictures. Honestly, why would I? But she was decently attractive, at least in my standards. So I talked to her, and it got to the point where she asked what I was doing that night. And when I said nothing, she asked if she could come over and hang out. Considering my bedroom in my parents' house is in the basement with a separate entrance,
Wait, hold on. They haven't even gone on a date yet. This girl already wants some action. How desperate! And this doofus still lives with his parents? What a lazy butt.
What's wrong with living with your parents? I mean, that's pretty normal, right?
Says the guy who lived with his grandparents in Maki Roll for a whole year until they kicked you out after, well, let's just say after what Maki did that one night.
Don't bring that up, Kokichi.
Oh, you really want to know what Maki Roll did? I can hear you. Guys, don't worry. I'm God, I hear everything. Fine, I'll spill the tea. So, picture this. One night, Maki was on one of her jobs. Yeah, you know, the assassin kind. It got, let's say, complicated. Let's just say her work didn't exactly sit well with Kaito's grandparents. They were not thrilled to have an assassin hanging around. So, after that incident, boom, Kaito was shown the door. Let's just say Maki Roll didn't bring any dead bodies home after that night.
Kokichi, stop talking about Maki's business like that.
it would work out rather nicely. We set a time for her to come over. When the time came, she texted me literally right on the dot that she was outside. Punctual, to say the least. I let her in the side basement door entrance, and we walked downstairs. I tried to make the greeting not awkward, but right off the bat, first impression, she seemed weird. Her responses were short, her laugh was weird. When we sat down on my bed and I asked her how long the drive was, she laughed. Like, she didn't even answer my question. She just laughed like I told a joke. And as she laughed, she looked right at me, her eyes.
How long was the drive? Ha! She was probably waiting outside the whole time like a desperate puppy.
Yup, probably stalking his house, checking every few minutes if his car was in the driveway.
That's my life, folks. Everywhere I go, young, hot girls waiting outside, just hoping for a chance to be with me. It's a daily occurrence, believe me. It's hard not to be tempted, but after the Stormy Daniels thing, I learned my lesson. Frankly, I learned the hard way.
Really?
Oh, that's relatable, but for me it's a bunch of young studs. There are a few young ladies waiting too, though.
Now that's a big lie.
Still open wide. It was uncomfortable, and I already knew I wasn't going to vibe with this girl. I wanted her out ASAP. I turned the TV on in the background for filler, and I pretended to be laughing at the TV because of the constant awkward silences, and she never once batted an eye to look at the TV. She just watched me the whole time. I was able to wrap it up quickly by pretending I got a text
Read
about
the
going
room,
into work
or
early
since
the
you're
next
so
day,
obsessed with
and I
him,
implied I
the
needed to
guy's
go to
ugly
sleep.
face.
She seemed like she didn't want to leave. It was extremely awkward. But I managed to get her to follow me out the basement door. When she was finally gone, I had to ask myself, what did I just put myself through? Not even 5 minutes after she left, she texted me, "Are you sure you have to go to bed? I was having fun." I read the text and sighed. I threw my phone on the bed to charge while I went to get food upstairs. When I got back, I had 3 more texts from her, 2 being question marks, the last one being hello with more question marks.
Ugh, this girl needs to stop texting him over and over. Clearly it's not gonna work. Just move on already. Someone should put her in a mental facility before I personally tie her up and put her on display in a museum.
But hey, at least she's trying. You gotta respect that effort, right?
Man, I'm lucky. I can't even text Kamala Harris. Her spelling is so bad I gave up trying. No endless texting problems for me. Hey, why did my voice change again?
Cope, luck boy.
Sure. Keep telling yourself that. She's always locked in that basement, and Tim, you have no friends. Shut up!
This girl was clearly nuts, so I blocked her. Done and done. I went to bed an hour later. I woke in the middle of the night, like I often do. I'm a light sleeper, it's really annoying. Waking up randomly isn't weird for me. I instinctively felt around for my phone to check what time it was, but my phone wasn't by its normal spot on the ledge charging, and I 100% remembered putting it there. So I got up and started looking around for my phone.
Oh, his phone's missing. I bet she's already in his house. That girl probably broke in or something. How desperate. Even Miu isn't that bad. How exciting.
Now, this is what happens when you don't have good security. Should have built a wall around his phone. I would have lent this guy a small loan for it.
Or maybe the guy sleepwalked and chucked it out the window. It's not like he's the brightest bulb anyway.
What if the phone's haunted? I mean, who else would take it?
Maybe Kamala took it still trying to text?
What the? Why are you Chris Christie now? Miu, where do you get these voice changers from? Man, Kamala should have picked Josh Shapiro the fuck.
I turned on the bedside strip of red LED lights I had hung on the wall to light up the room just a bit. I couldn't find it though, and I'm kind of the person who will let that bother me until I find it. I went upstairs to grab the landline phone and bring it down so I could call my number. When I dialed my number, I heard it ringing from inside the boiler/laundry room, which was connected to my room. I entered the boiler room, and there was my phone left on the washer machine, causing the entire machine to vibrate as it rang. I knew this was bizarre because I didn't do laundry that night. I didn't even remember going in there. I picked up my phone to see a bunch of new messages from some random number. I opened the texts to see 2 pictures of me sleeping. Above the pictures were 2 texts saying, "Nice, good job blocking me." The second one saying, "Lock your door next time."
Called it! She's a total psycho! She's probably inside the house too. Man, he should have just left the country. This is what happens when you don't have connections.
If only he had better locks. This never happens in Mar-a-Lago. People stay out because I keep everything secure, believe me.
What an amateur! Who doesn't lock their doors these days?
This is seriously creepy, though. How does she know where he lives?
Because she was just there, dumbass?
Well, he learned the hard way. Locking your doors is a life lesson. This isn't Minnesota. You can't trust people this easily anywhere else, you know? Wait, why am I a YouTuber now?
Again, cope. I don't like you anyway, continue on.
I realized what an idiot I was, that I was so anxious to get her out of my room that I didn't even lock the door when she left. Then I can't say for certain, but I felt like I wasn't alone in the room. Like I just felt another presence, and I had a feeling that she may have been hiding behind the cylinder boiler in the darkest corner of the room. But I didn't go look. I went upstairs to get my parents and call the police. Given that the girl was dumb enough, or crazy enough, to leave a digital footprint, tracking her and getting charges pressed on her was easy. Her name wasn't even Annette. Her real name was Sylvana. Her charges were a breaking and entering charge and a stalking and harassment charge. I, of course, got a restraining order, and I've never heard from that girl again.
At least this story ended on a good note. Restraining order and everything, but that girl is nuts.
This guy's lucky. If she can sneak in once, she can do it again. I'd have a whole security team after that. Not even my booby traps give me enough clarity after the Mackie roll incident.
Honestly, this dude needs to toughen up. I'd invent something to keep creeps like that out.
He should have hired some of my people. Nobody breaks into my places. Sad story, but he learned his lesson.
Hopefully that's his last crazy date. Hey, why am I a girl now? Fuck you, Miu.
Oh man, that reminds me of this one date I went on. The guy was obsessed with me, right? I thought, okay, whatever, free meal. But halfway through dinner, he whips out a spreadsheet, like a whole dating performance chart. He had rankings for every girl he ever dated and where they scored. Of course, I was at the top, but I left right after dessert. The dude even tried following me home. Too bad my taser was in my bag. He learned real quick not to mess with me.
You really expect me to believe that? Sounds like you just made it up to sound cooler than me. At least I can say I dated a real anime girl.
Oh, please, Kokichi. Like, that's a trophy you should be flaunting. At least I didn't settle for someone who only exists in pixels. Monica may be out of the game now, but let's be real. You still needed a computer to have a relationship.
Hey, she's more real than some of your dates. Besides, it worked out in the end. I mean, who else gets to say they stole a character from a game and made her come to life?
You do realize that's kind of creepy, though, right? I think I'd rather deal with a crazy date than be in a relationship with a character who can just delete me whenever she feels like it.
Right? 1 minute you're on a date and the next, poof! You're gone! Sounds romantic. Really romantic.
Better than being blocked by someone who lives with their parents.
Okay, fair point.
Hey, Kokichi, I finished the script for your play and I just thought I'd...
Not now, Jekka. I'm busy doing something super important with some high-profile guests.
Right. Because hanging out with a former president and a governor is totally normal for you. I'm used to it by now.
Nice to meet you. I love what you're doing. Very entrepreneurial.
Yeah, it's great to see young people making their way in the world. Hey, are you voting for me and Kamala Harris this election cycle? We want to give you free money in return. Wait, why am I a wimpy rabbit now?
Thanks, I guess. And I'm not surprised Kokichi is with you guys. He has a knack for attracting the most unusual crowds.
Speaking of unusual, isn't this the girl who sold feet pics online? Like, what a career choice!
Hey, don't knock it. I'm just taking advantage of my assets. At least I'm not stuck living with my grandparents like some people here.
Bruh, that was years ago. Knock it off.
Wow! Shots fired! You really know how to make friends, Jekka.
I think we're all surprised by the crowd Kokichi attracts.
More like horrified. What's next, Kokichi? A collab with Bigfoot?
You joke, but I'm actually considering it. Anyway, story number 2, please.
I've tried all the major dating apps, and I never really have much luck on them. My friend told me he was having luck on this app, Hot or Not, so I gave it a try. And right off the bat, I was getting a lot more likes, albeit from girls I didn't really find attractive at all. Still, on my first batch of free—
Wait, what's this hot or not thing? Sounds like a total scam. Sounds like a stupid beauty contest.
Oh, I get it. It's basically a glorified way to rate people based on looks. He's probably getting likes from girls who wouldn't stand a chance on more serious apps. Probably some ugly virgins. Kokichi can relate to that.
So, he's settling for the less attractive options? That's harsh. Are we really at the point where we're just swiping left and right like we're in a meat market?
It's not that cut and dry. People should have the freedom to explore their options, but it does say something about how we view attractiveness.
Believe me, I know all about attraction. Everyone wants to be loved, but you have to be smart about it. This guy needs to step up his game.
Exactly. He's probably using a profile pic from high school and thinking it's still working for him. Come on, buddy. Get with the times.
Swipes. I matched this one cute blonde girl named Julia. I'll spare the details of our conversation, but it went excitingly well. It was one of those rare matches where the girl was attractive and very receptive to my messages.
Wow, did my boy actually get lucky?
She was actually enjoying talking to me. We quickly moved to Snapchat. I asked her for her number, but she said let's talk on Snapchat instead. I was fine with that. I added her on Snap and she added me back. Her Snap score was low, like under 1,000. So right away I was suspicious and upset that this may have been too good to be true like I thought.
Excuse me? What's wrong with having a Snap score under 1,000? I have one, and it's not because I'm unpopular. It's just because I use it to talk to Uma.
Oh, is that so? Maybe he just doesn't want to give out his number to his friends. Sounds like a classic Uma move.
When did you start talking like Ganta? The fuck?
But come on, it's not like Snap Score defines you as a person. It's just an app. It's stupid and pointless, but it's not all too bad.
Exactly. I'm just using it for chats. She's the one refusing to share her number with anyone. Seriously, how paranoid can you get? Just give the guy your number.
It's all about making the right connections, folks. Snap scores? Irrelevant. Get to know the person.
Exactly. Besides, I'm way cooler than that number anyway.
She messaged me, and I messaged back being blunt, asking her to snap a selfie of herself just for my safety. I told her there's a lot of catfish profiles going around, so I can't be too careful. She opened the message right away, but didn't reply for a minute. I thought for sure the account was going to block me any second. But instead, to my surprise, I got a notification that I got a snap from Julia. I opened the snap, and it was the same blonde-haired girl from the pictures. Still, I wasn't convinced, so I asked her to give me a thumbs up or a peace sign. She opened the chat. I was waiting to see if she'd block me this time. She didn't respond for a couple minutes, until finally, she sent another snap. I opened it, and it was half her face smiling, holding up a peace sign. That was enough for me. I snapped her back, and then we messaged for a little while. We eventually made plans to hang out. She invited me over to her house, which was across town, not too far away. She said she was home alone and that it wouldn't be a problem. She gave me an exact address. I noticed she had her Snap map on, so I did a little check to make sure her address matched her Snap location, and it seemed to check out.
Wait, what? They're already meeting at her house? That's so rushed. Don't they know the rules of dating?
Oh, come on, Miu. What's wrong with a little spontaneity? Some people like to skip straight to the fun part. You can understand that, come on. Don't lie. I'll see right through it.
Fun part? No! It's about getting to know each other first. They should go out, like, to a restaurant or something. Why rush things and end up in some awkward situation? And this is coming from me.
Exactly. You wouldn't just invite someone to the White House without knowing them first, right? You have to build a relationship, folks.
But what if they're just looking for a good time? I mean, who wouldn't want to skip to the exciting part?
Holy shit, who made you so horny today? That's supposed to be my job.
It's the trick of the trade, Miu. As you said to poor Timmy over there, cope!
I told her I'd be over in a few. I changed into decent clothes, sprayed on some cologne, combed my hair, and got in my car to head over. I remember thinking I may have overdid it with the cologne. She snapped me while I was driving, asking if I was on the way. I told her yes. She read it immediately, but didn't respond. I got to the house. It had the number 22 written clear as day next to the door. I messaged her that I'm here. She didn't open the snap though, so I decided to just go ring the bell. There were no cars in the driveway, and the grass seemed like it hadn't been cut in a few weeks. I rang the bell, but she didn't answer, so I started knocking really loud. When she still didn't answer, I went back to Snap and tried calling her using that. It just kept ringing though, she didn't answer. Was I just pranked? I suddenly heard a woman's voice yelling something at me across the street. For some reason, I imagined it to be Julia at first, till I realized it was an older woman yelling, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" I began walking back to the street and called back, "I'm meeting someone." She said back to me at a lower volume now that we were closer that I have the wrong house, nobody lives there. I asked the address of the house, and the address she told me matched the address this Julia girl gave me. I thanked her and got in my car. I went to try to message Julia one more time, but she blocked me.
What do you mean no one answered? That house looks abandoned. I can tell with the tall grass shit, you know.
Yeah, it's like a horror movie waiting to happen. What if she's a ghost trying to lure him in?
A ghost? Now that's a twist I didn't see coming. Maybe she's been haunting Tinder just to mess with people.
That's just bizarre. Why would she tell him to meet there if it wasn't going to happen? Seems a little sketchy. Why do I sound like a worthless robot now?
I swear, if this turns into a horror story about a ghost girl, I'm out. No way I'm getting haunted today.
Believe me, folks, this is why you have to vet your dates properly. If it smells like a scam, it probably is. Better to be safe than sorry.
Poor guy. He just wanted a date, and now he's out here looking like a fool. This is what happens when you don't take the time to know someone first.
Hey, maybe the girl ghost was just trying to keep him on his toes. Or it's just karma for rushing things. Who knows?
And look who's talking!
I just hope he learns from this experience. Online dating can be a minefield. You have to be cautious.
I felt like I was played for a fool. They unmatched me on Hot or Not too. Luckily, I took screenshots of the profile before that, because I sent some to one of my friends before driving to the house. When I got home, I sent screenshots to my friend group chat with like 8 other people, asking if anyone knew her. One guy, my friend Darren, said that's Lisa, a girl who overdosed on heroin 2 years back. When he said that, another friend in the group chat confirmed he was right. I got goosebumps because the snaps I got were from a girl who matched that Lisa girl completely. I told my friends, and they thought either I was crazy or the situation was crazy. I'm without a doubt certain the girl in those snaps was Lisa.
This is too much. I can't handle this right now. What the fuck? How did I predict that? I can't deal with this bullshit.
Looks like Kaito can't handle the truth. He's such a wuss.
Maybe he just needs a little more confidence. I can tell him all about how to handle ghosts. Everyone's talking about them lately.
This is why you gotta be careful with online dating. You never know what kind of baggage someone's carrying. Or, you know, if they're even alive.
Or if they're just trying to haunt your Tinder or Hot or Not profile. You gotta stay vigilant, folks.
How this happened, I have no earthly idea. Better question, why was I led to that house? I can't even try to imagine.
Well, everyone, it's been a blast, but I've got to head out. I have a rally to attend in Pennsylvania.
What's so special about this rally?
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. I'm playing whack-a-mole with my fans, but get this. The moles are Liz Cheney bobbleheads. Oh, and crooked Joe Biden and Scamala might make special guest appearances too, even though what they have done to this country isn't...
You're seriously going to whack bobbleheads? That sounds ridiculous.
Saya, Trumpy. All right, everyone. I have a deep state to attend to. Can't keep the government secrets waiting, right?
Sure. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Uma. Just don't let them catch you. Have fun at your deep state meeting, I guess. Stay safe out there and remember, don't date ghosts.
I guess they forgot about me. Bye, everyone. Please vote for me and Kamala this November. Okay, I gotta meet with my school shooter friends. Bye.